evening. Welcome everyone. Thank you all for finding your time and being here today. My name is Dr. Shukonna, Assistant Professor at Omdal Group of Institutions and the moderator of this webinar. Omdal Group of Institutions is one of the leading colleges under Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, providing BTech courses in civil engineering, mechanical engineering, computer science engineering, and electrical engineering, and BR courses. The college is NAAC accredited and approved by AICTE and COA. Our topic today is career options for mechanical engineers in thermal and marine sectors, presented by the Mechanical Department of Omdal Group of Institutions. Before we start, let me explain how you can talk to us during the webinar. If you have any questions, please type them into the question box and we will answer them at the end of the session. Today, we are privileged to hear from Mr. Debabrata De, former Executive Director, WBPDCL, Mr. Vikash Yadav, Chief Engineer on Merchant Vessel, Mr. Ramin Kanti De, TIC of Mechanical Engineering Department of Omdal Group of Institutions, and Mr. Orindam Banerjee, Assistant Professor at Omdal Group of Institutions. Now, without much ado, let me introduce you to the eminent speakers for the day. Mr. Debabrata De is the former Executive Director of WBPDCL. He was also the Chief Advisor of NWEPDI. He is a seasoned professional having more than 45 years of rich experience in operations, maintenance, planning, and engineering in coal-based thermal power plants. The next honorable speaker for the day is Mr. Vikash Yadav. Mr. Yadav is an alumnus of Mumbai University, batch of 2004. He has done a graduate mechanical engineering, that is, conversion course from mechanical to marine as a sponsored candidate from Singapore Maritime Academy. He has also done MSc in Maritime Operation and Management from City University. Currently, he is the Chief Engineer in a merchant vessel. He is also having a maritime experience of more than 15 years. Next, we have Mr. Ramin Kanti De. Mr. De did his master's from IIEST Shibpur. Presently, he is doing research on the development of standalone grid-independent solar-powered cold storage systems. His research works have been published in several reputed international SCI journals of Springer, Elsevier, Taylor & Francis, Indoscience, and World Scientific Publisher. Presently, he is the Assistant Professor and TIC of Department of Mechanical Engineering of Omdal Group of Institutions. Next, we have Mr. Orindam Banerjee. Mr. Banerjee is an alumnus of Mumbai University and a chartered engineer. He has an industrial experience of more than 12 years in reputed companies such as Toyo Engineering Private Limited and Development Consultant Private Limited. Currently, he is the Assistant Professor of Mechanical Engineering Department of Omdal Group of Institutions. Now, over to Mr. Vikash Yadav, sir. Sir, can you describe your journey from being a mechanical engineer to being a chief engineer in a merchant vessel? Over to Vikash, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me for this webinar. As you have mentioned, I have started my career after completing mechanical engineering from Mumbai University 2004. and I had a keen interest to join a merchant navy. So I appeared for a graduate mechanical engineering conversion course, which was as a sponsored candidate. I did that course from Singapore Maritime Academy. And after completing that course, I started my journey as a marine engineer. I converted myself from mechanical to marine, and then I started my journey as a marine engineer. And then during the period of time, like last 10, 15 years, I was appearing for various exams, which normally marine engineer has to appear from Singapore Maritime Academy or Merchant Marine Department from India to become a fourth engineer, and then on board for promotion. Then you can become a third engineer, second engineer, and then chief engineer. So you have to give like 2-3 exams to become a chief engineer. Once you have qualified your exams and you have completed your sea time sailing experience on board vessel, you'll be promoted as a chief engineer. So that's how I was promoted as a chief engineer in 2015. So I did my chief engineering from the certificate of competency from UK in 2015, and from 2015 since till now I'm as a chief engineer. So that's my journey as a chief engineer.
Okay, sir. Sir, what kind of life does a mechanical engineer?
Could you listen to me? Could you listen to me?
Yes,
Could you
sir.
listen to me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good
Actually,
evening,
there
sir.
is some technical problem with my computer. That's why I have joined late. Please, actually, don't mind. Okay. Carry on, Mr.
Thank
Jadhav.
you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Now
Welcome.
to Vikash Yadav, sir. Sir, what kind of life does a mechanical engineer has on board a merchant vessel?
As a mechanical engineer, when you go on board ship on a merchant vessel, basically you have to look after the operation, maintenance, and even the spare part management. So the most important skill is troubleshooting skills, which you require when you go on board. So these are the things which mostly mechanical engineer or who becomes like a marine engineer, they do on board, like operation, even team management, crew management, and troubleshooting, and these are the major parts when they go on board.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. Now, Mr. Devabroto De, sir, welcome you. Sir was facing some technical problems, so sir has joined us now. Now, over to Mr. Devabroto De, sir. Sir, how would you describe your journey in mechanical engineering from being a young GET to executive director of WBPDCL? Over
Good
to sir.
evening. Good evening, everybody. Hope all of you are keeping well. The point is, as mechanical engineer, I joined Bandel Thermal Power Station in the year 1976, and right from the beginning, I have been in the West Bengal State Electricity Board. Earlier, it was West Bengal State Electricity Board when I joined the Bandel Thermal Power Station. I started from the mechanical control room. Actually, it is the operation of boiler, turbine, and other auxiliaries. For 35 years of my journey, starting from 1976 to 2011, I've gone in different power stations, from Bandar Thermal Power Station, then again to Santali Thermal Power Station. Then I joined the planning and engineering group for the construction of new power plants like Bokreshwar, like Sagurdigi, like Santaldi, unit numbers 5 and 6. Then that is also a long period, and almost 22 years. Then I was promoted as general manager to Bandel Thermal Power Station. In Bandel Thermal Power Station, the work was mainly administrative job. That is the administration of the entire power plant. Uh, Thereafter, again, I came back to planning and engineering department, and for the implementation of Sagardigi thermal power plant. There were two numbers of 500 megawatt in it, and also two numbers of 300 megawatt in it. And at that time, I was the executive director. And in the year 2011, I just retired. And thereafter, I again joined some other company as the chief advisor. That is a foreign company, a Northwest Electric Power Design Institute. And it is mainly covering the design and engineering of a power plant. And that is the power domain. And still now I am continuing that. Oh, that is my journey. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your experience with us. Now, sir, what are the roles of mechanical engineers in a thermal power plant?
It's a big way, you know. There are so many aspects. What I have told you in the beginning, that is the operation of the boiler, big boilers. You know, boilers. I think the students right now who are participating, they do not have any idea about the boiler. It's a very big, actually, machine, and it is generating steam at desired pressure and temperature. Then again, that steam goes to a turbine, steam turbine. And that steam turbine is a prime mover, and it acts as a prime mover. Then it actually gives some energy, mechanical energy to generator. Then the power is generated. In that way, the journey is different in operation. Thereafter, again in maintenance. Maintenance means again the uh, upkeeping of the boiler, upkeeping of the turbine, upkeeping of pumps, upkeeping of fans, upkeeping of compressor, all these things. This is the maintenance department we have to work. I have to work with. And not only that, thereafter some other areas also we have to cover, and accordingly, this is the main actually working domain of the thermal power plant. Okay.
Thank you, sir. So that means the job of mechanical engineer in thermal power plants includes great responsibility. It is he who will actually be responsible for generation of power that keeps the city and nation moving ahead. For without power, there is no life. Thanks, sir. Now, sir, if you could tell us something about the scopes of a mechanical engineer after he or she graduates.
Uh, well, the scope is wide, and it's a very large scope. What I can remember right now, the scenario has changed. In our time, like you see, in 60s or 70s or 80s, mechanical engineering was the father of engineering, and then is the core engineering. You know, at that time, every student who wants to actually educate himself in mechanical engineering feels proud, because mechanical engineering encompasses a versatile area, like the manufacturing, like steel plant, like your cement, and then other processing plant, then also maintenance of all the equipment and parts, and like that. And not only that, mechanical engineers also right now in the era of IT. Now I think after late 90s, the era of IT has started, and now the entire actually the focus is on computer science and IT. But still, what I understand, mechanical engineers are also playing a very good role in the IT sector too. When I was in some other educational institute for 3-4 years, I've seen that the actually the big IT companies like Infosys, like Wipro, like Cognizant, like IBM, etc., etc., they also prefer mechanical engineers other than your computer science and IT. So mechanical engineering has a very, very wide field. I can't explain. It's a very wide field. There is nothing to be scared of regarding mechanical engineering. One who is nurturing himself or herself to be a mechanical engineer, he or she should feel proud. Yes, I am a mechanical engineer. Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
I,
Mr.
yeah,
Vikash Yadav, sir. Sir, do you like to add on something to it?
yeah. So, as Mr. Desa said, I totally agree with him. Mechanical engineering will always remain as the evergreen field, which will be always in demand. It's a versatile field where people, do the basic engineering, and they can, after completing the mechanical engineering, they can pursue their career to, become specialized in any sector. They can go to IT sector, banking sector, or automobile, or or aeronautical, any sector they can specialize in. So they will be always in demand as a mechanical engineer.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
I shall add with Mr. Jadhav. Yes, he has correctly reminded me. Even in banks also,
Yeah,
mechanical
yeah,
engineering
as a,
concerned,
even
because,
yeah,
because when the bank is giving loan to some, say, manufacturing unit or to some
they
companies,
always, yeah,
yes, that particular mechanical engineer will go there, he will
yeah,
inspect,
to
he
inspect,
gives
yeah,
approval. He
yeah,
gives an approval. Only
yeah.
then the loan will be granted.
They are being hired as a technical advisor to the banking sector. Yeah, yeah.
So we see that the career open to mechanical engineering graduates are wide and varied. Although you can choose the career most relevant to your specialization and related skills. Now to Raman Kanti De sir. Sir, what knowledge of subjects do you need to be a mechanical engineer?
Uh, Basically, mechanical engineering is engineering discipline which utilizes principle of physics, mathematics, and material science to design, analyze, manufacture, and maintain different mechanical systems. So I feel that the knowledge of higher secondary physics, uh, mathematics, and chemistry is very important from point of view of mechanical engineering. Even in some fundamentals, the basic things of many a few mechanical engineering papers like thermal, fluid, these things are already already included in the syllabus of higher secondary physics. So if the students study these things properly, then here it will be more interesting and more easier for them. So those who are really interested to pursue mechanical engineering, I would suggest them to study these subjects properly. All they have to study all the subjects, but special care should be given to these subjects: physics, mathematics, and chemistry. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I like to add, Professor Day, I like to add there is another subject, mechanics. Mechanics also, actually, we learned, actually, when I was a student of class 11,
Yes.
my fourth subject was mechanics. And a student who normally studies mechanics, it is automatically actually given to understand that he is going to be an engineer. A student who is
Engineering.
studying biology as his fourth subject, it is automatically understand he or she is going to be a doctor.
Doctor, yes.
Am I correct?
So, yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
that means the student needs to prepare and do well in physics, chemistry, mathematics, and mechanics. Thank
Yes.
you, sir. Now, sir, what are the subjects a student has to study after getting into mechanical engineering? Sir, over to Orindam Banerjee, sir.
Thank you for posting me the question. There are few subjects mechanical engineer has to brush up before, as Raman sir has said, in 12th standard. But after you enter the engineering, mechanical engineering, some of the very important subjects The first very important subject is thermodynamics, which every mechanical engineering student has to learn because it deals with the flow of heat. And for us, it is a very important factor. The second most important subject, I think, is mechanics, as Desar has already mentioned. It is all about the how objects react when force is being acted upon them and their characteristics. Then there is another subject where we study about metallurgy. We call it material science, where we study the different type of materials and their uses, their characteristics. We try to understand from a mechanical engineering point of view that on which type of structure or which type of equipment, what type of material is suitable. Because you cannot apply the same material in all of the equipments, because every equipment has its own way of working, its own life, and it deals with a separate type of fluid perhaps, or perhaps load bearing capacity. So everything is very depending on the material, it is very important. Another subject a mechanical engineer has to have knowledge about is drawing. Now, this engineering drawing is it's not like a drawing from an artist. The engineering drawing is a very specialized version of actually learning, making the students learn on how you can present the object in a paper, so that when the object is being built by an engineer, he is able to understand and incorporate all the parameters presented to you in the paper. So the engineering drawing is one of the most important subjects also. For example, you have to understand how to draw isometric views, orthogonal views. You have to understand how to draw different type of curves. So these are now what I have just listed are just a few of the very important subjects. I have just listed a few different, 4 different important subjects on which a mechanical engineer should study.
Plan, elevation, sectional view.
Yes, yes. For example, in drawing, you need to understand how an object, you are looking at an object from the top, you're looking at the object from the front, and sometimes you have to look it from the side, how that object is going to be, so that one particular part of the object properly fits with the other, and there is no clash in between. So these are all very important. So these are some of the subjects which are very important in mechanical engineering.
The internals in the drawing, internal
Yes,
sectional view.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for giving us some insights into the course.
Arinam says something about hydraulics and hydraulic machinery. That is also important one.
Yes.
It is also
hydraulics. Yes, hydraulic machinery actually comes under fluid mechanics, and especially under the fluid mechanics and machinery part of the subject, where students will understand how hydraulics. What hydraulics means is basically using the fluid to move a mechanical object, move a mechanical prime mover, so that we can get some electricity or maybe get some work done. That is all about hydraulics. For example, a very good example is the use of a crane, or the use of a, for example, shock absorber. Even that is also sometimes hydraulic.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, and there are some other cool mechanical engineering papers also. They are very interesting. Like power plant, as we were discussing, and automobile, refrigeration, non-conventional power generation. These kind of subjects are very interesting papers, because the students will find their applications around them always. So these are the very interesting subjects, and students have to study these subjects properly in mechanical engineering.
special papers like that. Special paper like thermal power engineering or the general engineering, something like that.
They have to study about the engines, various type of engines. These are the very interesting subjects and students generally love this subject.
Yes.
Thank you all for giving us wonderful insights into the course. Now,
But
what type of industries can mechanical engineers work in? Do mechanical engineers always work on site? Over to Mr. Debobroto De, sir. Sir,
uh,
please.
not at all. Yes, mainly site. Site. So if you talk about the mechanical operation, then you have to actually work from the side, like merchant vessel, it may be cargo vessel or the passenger vessel. Or if you work in the power plant, it is also site. Not only that, in power plant or also in cargo vessel. In power plant also you have to work around the clock. Actually, it's a 24 into 7 duty. Okay, round the clock. There is no stoppage. You cannot stop electricity. You cannot stop the generation of power. It is round the clock. So in the power plant, your duty is either in morning shift, say 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., then again 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., or from 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. 6 a.m. There is a cycle, the cycle, 24-hour cycle. And if you work in the, say, manufacturing unit, or say cement plant, or say fertilizer plant, then it will be mainly also, that is also inside, mainly in the day hours, say from 9 a.m. in the morning to 5 p.m. in the evening, something like that. But apart from that, when you are in a say consultancy firm, what Arinda was in consultancy firm, when you are a consultancy firm, then your work is mainly on drawing board. Mainly on drawing board. It is the indoor work. It is actually a colorful job, blue blue color job, something like that. Not at site. You're actually everything will be very fine. And apart from that, what Mr. Jadhav told a few minutes back, when you work in a bank, that is also a blue collar job. And maybe occasionally you have to go to site. When you are in consultancy also, occasionally you have to go to site, but mainly you are in a drawing board, something like that. But I must say, when a mechanical engineer has passed out from his or her college, he should, he or she should work at site. Field experience is a great one. Actually, field experience is actually unvaluable. There is no alternative than field experience. Actually, what Orindam has discussed regarding your thermodynamics, regarding hydraulics, regarding drawing, blah blah blah. When you are in college, it is something, and where in your field, there is different. What is you read in college and what you actually have learned in field, both are different. Field is the actual experience, and college definitely you are educating yourself, and in field you are educating in the working field. There is a point, and well, again I suggest whoever becomes a mechanical engineer, he or she should work in the field.
Sir, what type of industries can mechanical engineers work in?
That I already told you. Maybe manufacturing unit, maybe a steel plant, maybe a cement plant, maybe fertilizer plant, maybe actually repair shop, maybe plant operation like a power plant, like your cargo vessel or passenger vessel. Everywhere, actually he or she can work. No, there is no problem.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now over to Mr. Vikash Yadav, sir. Sir, what is the scope of a mechanical engineer abroad?
One more time, can you reset what is the scope of mechanical engineering?
Abroad.
Okay.
Sir, outside.
Okay. After becoming a mechanical engineer, there's a lot of scope outside, and probably in the Gulf area, Singapore, and in some other Gulf areas, UK, Bahrain, and all. They're always in demand of mechanical engineers, and probably after passing out, mechanical engineering, one can one can always get a good call from these countries. So there will be always demand of mechanical engineering in basically in Singapore, Malaysia, and Gulf countries.
So we see that different career options are available to them in today's world. Now, to Roman Kantide sir, what are the government jobs available after completing BTech in mechanical engineering?
Actually, a BTech degree in mechanical engineering presents a lots of job opportunities. Even in government sector, different jobs are available. Like in agri-mechanical department of West Bengal, mechanical engineers are recruited to the examination conducted by Public Service Commission. After completing BTech, the students can appear in this exam. Those who are interested in teaching, they may apply for the lecturer jobs, and in Indian Navy, in Army, in Air Force, everywhere mechanical engineers are needed. The students may appear for defense service, engineering service. Through staff selection commission, mechanical engineers are recruited every year. In railways, in metro rail, and everywhere mechanical engineers are required. They are recruited, and different organizations like ISRO, DRDO, they also recruit mechanical engineers. And especially there is a huge scope for mechanical engineering students through GATE examination. The number of public sector undertaking companies, they recruit mechanical engineers every year in bulk numbers. Like ONGC, NTPC, VAIL, SAIL, IOCL, even WBPDCL and WBSC DCL, they also started recruiting mechanical engineers through GATE examination. So the students in the final year, they can appear for GATE examination, and
Please say something
if
about
a
GATE.
student,
Please,
yes sir, yes sir.
Students are listening. Please say a few words about GATE. GATE. GATE.
GATE is the examination. It is in every year it is conducted graduate aptitude test examination. The can appear basis of their BTech, from first year to final year, all the subjects are there. The students need to study all the papers, and if they crack, if they secure good rank, then through that examination, number of PSU jobs are there. Even they can go for masters. There another scope is there through GATE. And basically, there are lots of government jobs are available for the mechanical engineers after graduation. The students need to study all the subjects. That is the thing. If they are ready to give their effort, their 100%, their dedication, then lots of job opportunities will be there.
Thank you, sir. That means there is a high demand for mechanical engineering graduates in government sectors too. Now to Orindam sir. Sir, can the students get into software-related companies after completing BTech in mechanical engineering?
Absolutely. I mean, this is a common misconception among a lot of students who are just passing out 12th and 11th, are in 11th standard, that only the students who are studying in IT or computer engineering can actually work in computer related or software related companies, but that is not the case. Um, and a company like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, they always hire mechanical engineers because of the factor that mechanical engineer brings into the foray in this field. A lot of softwares are there in our field which are basically developed by mechanical engineers who later became software engineers, because the understanding of the concepts of a mechanical engineer incorporated with the understanding of the software is basically the amalgamation of two different fields brings out the best in these students, in these potential software people. And TCS, companies like TCS, companies like Infosys, they understand in the future it is not going to be a single stream oriented students that are very good. They have to be a combination of 2 or 3 streams in which mechanical students play a huge role. So you will always see in any software related companies, a lot of engineers are there who are basically who had studied mechanical. Perhaps they are right now not in mechanical area expertise wise, but they definitely had done their mechanical engineering and have actually now are working in software companies, because the understanding level of a mechanical engineering is much more better. So it's always a uh, good thing for a mechanical engineer and the company then also.
Thank you,
Actually,
sir.
let me say a little bit what Arindam has said
Yes, sir, please.
regarding mechanical engineering and also IT or the computer science. If I can recall the 90s when we are just doing Bokrisa Thermal Power Station engineering job by DCPL. At that time, we have seen only hard copy of drawing, maybe action 1, action 2, action 3, something like that. Only hard copy of drawings were there for different stages of approval. But in the 21st century, that IT actually has emerged, and right now it is not the hard copy. Soft copy of drawings are available in the screen, and you can actually give your comments, or you can correct the drawing in the screen. And but definitely Arindam and Robin Desar will correct me. It is a now it's a marriage of mechanical engineering and IT. Yeah, what
Yes,
I know. I like to
yes,
put it.
yes.
Intelligent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that means having good knowledge and a sincere interest in IT will increase your chances of finding work in this area. Now to Mr. Vikash Yadav, sir. Sir, what is the difference between marine engineering and mechanical engineering?
Yeah, actually, in the difference between marine engineering and mechanical engineering, as a mechanical engineer, basically whatever theories, whatever principles you have learned during your course of mechanical engineering, the same principle you apply to your any manufacturing unit or any sector you go, and then you come to the that particular thing come to the market for any object or any machine. It will start from design your principles. You utilize your principle to start with the then manufacturing and bring that object or any machine or anything to bring it to marketplace. And that's the part of a mechanical engineer. And as a mechanical engineer, you always try to improvise and you design and improvise your so that on your design skills or by observing your operation, so that it can the machine or anything that can improve its performance. And as a marine engineering, when you go on board, you have to basically look after your operation, maintenance, management, crew management on board, and then troubleshooting skill. So these are the main things. So when you go on board as a marine engineer, you have to see there are machineries like big diesel engine, and then auxiliary engines, boiler, compressors, or pumps, various pumps like centrifugal pumps, gear pumps. These are the things you will study in the mechanical engineering, and same thing you have to apply when you go on board any vessel. So, for example, we will learn in the mechanical engineering, we will learn about IC engine. So the like two-stroke engine, four-stroke engines. So we will study in the mechanical engineering, but these things when you go on board, then that's actually you apply with your this theory. You will apply and you will learn how these things actually work. So when you see four-stroke engine like diesel generator and two-stroke engines, so that whatever you have studied as a mechanical engineer, that comes you will actually see how it happens. So basically these are the difference.
Okay.
I
Thank
think
you.
uh, I would like to add a little to Vikas sir's comment on the difference and the definite benefits of a mechanical engineer in a marine field is that if you consider a ship, the ship has to power itself. And again, the most important word, power comes. And right now, today, one of the most efficient way to produce power is by burning coal or burning oil. And for that, we need a boiler, we need a turbine, and we need all the instruments that come with it. So in a way, a big marine merchant navy ship will have to have a small power plant that powers the whole ship, not only powers the ship, but also drives the ship through water. Remember, the friction of the water is much more higher than comparing it to a car on a road. So everything is related to mechanical. So the role of a mechanical engineer in a marine or a merchant navy ship is extremely, extremely important.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
what are said. So it is always important, part of mechanical engineering on board merchant vessels. So as we all know, 90% of trade during import or exports happens through the cargo vessel, merchant vessels. So mechanical engineering is a very important thing which people after passing out mechanical engineering they will have on board any kind of a merchant vessel. Let it be any kind of vessel. I'm not saying only the container vessel, cargo vessel, or there are so many vessels. Anywhere you go, you will have a same. You will find your job as the same thing, and the mechanical engineering will always be in demand when they. I mean, in the
That means,
let me say something.
yes, sir, please add on. Please add on.
Actually, what I understand, say, I am also talking in the years 60s or 70s or 80s. Actually, at that time, what is the difference between an engineer on onshore and offshore? Normally, the offshore engineers are definitely mechanical engineer, maybe electrical engineer, maybe civil engineer, and onshore engineers are marine engineers. And at that time, there is a particular college, Mr. Jadhav will correct me, they call name is a DMET, a Directorate of Marine Engineering Training. And from that college, who graduates, he actually immediately gets a job in merchant vessel. And as because the job again I am talking about the job opportunity. The job opportunity in merchant vessel was too high, and the generation of engineers from DMT is low, and that's why mechanical engineers actually whose domain is big. Again, I must say, domain of mechanical engineering is big. So
very big,
domain
yeah.
is big. He always gets a chance in the vessel to be a fifth engineer. Again, correct me, to be a fifth engineer in the vessel. And then thereafter, fifth engineer, junior fifth, senior fifth, then
Yes,
fourth,
yes,
then
correct, correct.
third.
And then you become a chief. Yeah.
That is like mechanical engineer has a very great role also in.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, please correct me, Mr. Jadhav.
No, it's correct, correct. What you said, correct.
Thank you, sir. That means mechanical engineering finds wide application in marine engineering too.
Yes, yes.
So now,
Yes, actually, let me add some points. In 1972, I was a mechanical engineer, definitely, but I got a call from Shipping Corporation of India to be a fifth engineer, junior fifth, and directly by at that time telegram message, red color telegram. A telegram came to my house. You join Vishwavibhuti, something like that. At that time, the name was Shipping Corporation of India, and the name of the vessel is Vishwavibhuti. You join immediately. You see, no interview, nothing. You join immediately, something like that. So actually, the scope of mechanical marine engineers as well as mechanical engineers were huge. Right, still now I think Mr. Jadhav again will
Yeah,
correct me.
yeah.
Right,
They are still in mass. Yeah.
scope is huge.
Thank you, sir. So now to Mr. Vikash Yadav, sir. Sir, what are the different types of jobs of a mechanical engineer in a merchant vessel?
A mechanical engineer, when they work on the merchant vessel, they have different roles. The roles are like when I joined as a junior engineer, so so there are different roles as a operation level and the management level. So basically, there are ranks like fifth engineer, fourth engineer, and third engineer. They are part of operation management. So they will look after the operation of the most of the operations of all the machineries on board. And then there's a role of a second engineer and chief engineer. They are the part of the management team. So and they will manage the crew on board. So basically the engineering engine department. So, it's basically as a marine engineer on board is like yeah, you have to handle the operation. You have to do the carry out the maintenance and troubleshooting of any machineries on board which is not malfunctioning. And so you have to follow we have something called plant maintenance schedule. So for entire ship. So we have to follow those things, and then any operation wise, if there is any trouble, so we have to look after those things.
Actually, again, I like to add with Mr. Jadhav. Actually, the operation is okay, but maintenance of a running ship, when it is running and it is in the ocean, then maintenance very critical, very actually the
Yeah,
job is,
yeah.
yes.
For that
Uh,
we have the plant maintenance system where we will get periodically these are the things which we need to do, and as per the plant maintenance schedule. So as you said, it's very important because the ship is running in the ocean, and then when we reach to some port or something, so that's how we will plan the things in advance. These are the things we have to do when the ship is not running, when there is a stoppage for 24 hours or 48 hours. These are the things we have to do so that it will run again safely for another watch. So that's what we do.
Thank you, sir. Now to Mr. Raman Kanti De, sir. Sir, what is the eligibility criteria to get admission in mechanical engineering?
It is a very important question, I think. The criteria is very simple. The students, the students need to complete their higher secondary, and they have to secure at least 45% marks in physics, mathematics with any one of chemistry, biology, biotechnology, computer science, computer application, or vocational subjects. And this percentage is 45% for general candidates, general students, and 40% for reserved students, SC, ST, or OBC. And obviously, they have to appear for joint entrance examination, either maybe West Bengal joint entrance examination, WBJE, or JEE main. So if they clear any one of these examinations and fulfill this criteria, then they are eligible to apply for mechanical engineering. And they have to basically apply through centralized counseling process organized by Joint Entrance Board. So this is the process the students have to follow.
Thank you, sir. Now to Mr. Vikash Yadav, sir. Sir, what is the advantage of doing mechanical engineering instead of doing marine engineering directly after 12th?
Yeah, so as I said, mechanical engineering is the basic engineering we do. So after doing a basic engineering, you can specialize yourself into any sector. So that you will have opportunity to specialize yourself in any sector. So when you do a mechanical engineering, so you have opportunity. You can decide yourself whether you want to become a marine engineer, you want to become an automobile engineer, or you want to become a power plant engineer, or you want to go for IT sector, you want to go for banking sector. So that will have after doing a mechanical engineering. So but once you decided to do a marine engineering, you will always be in a marine sector. So there are a lot of opportunities in marine sector, but doing a mechanical engineering, you will always have a leverage where you want to go. Some people will not like to join marine engineering because it's they say you have to be away from your home or anything. They can always go for IT sector. They can always go for automobile, or they can always choose for any company. They can go for a government job. So that leverage, that freedom you will have after doing mechanical. So it's important for me if I have to decide whether after 12th I have to go for mechanical marine engineering. I will always decide mechanical engineering because that's a vast field and versatile field, and I will always have freedom where I want to go. So I will always decide to go for a mechanical engineering.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now to
Actually,
Mr.
one
Yes, sir. Please add on.
what Mr. Jadhav just explained, let me clarify. Actually, if you talk about marine engineering, in all the engineering colleges in West Bengal, particularly our college from where the WBJE actually aspirants getting their admission. And I think there is no such course of marine engineering. I think so. Only I think marine engineering is being learned in DMET and also IIT.
Yeah.
Mr. Jadhav, please correct me.
Yeah. That is that. DMET is one of the prominent. Kolkata is prominent college for marine engineering. Yeah.
And also IIT also. I think IIT also marine engineering is here.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Now to Mr. Debobroto De, sir. Sir, are private colleges good enough to pursue mechanical engineering?
Oh, sure, why not? Why not? Definitely. Actually, there are a lot of opportunities for the student, the aspirants for the engineering admission in engineering. Private colleges are equally good compared to government colleges. And actually, what I mean to say, okay, if you get a chance in government college, fine, no problem. But there is good opening in private colleges also. If you talk about, say, so many private colleges are there in West Bengal, those are equally good compared to government colleges. And there is no harm in joining a private college because the campus interview from private college and actually job opportunity from private college are equally good. Maybe I would say it is what I have seen. It is in the range of 70% to 90% students are being actually getting their job opportunity in different IT sector or different say,
Better option for career growth.
maybe something like that. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Next, why choose mechanical engineering above other engineering disciplines? To Mr. Debobroto De, sir.
Again, I just what I told at the beginning. There are so many aspects or so many actually links. Why I choose mechanical engineering? For myself, my elder brother was an engineer of Durgapur Steel Plant. That is a mechanical engineering, and actually. I choose mechanical engineering definitely, thinking of my elder brother, and because he is a mechanical engineer, I will also be a mechanical engineer. But again, another point is there, very vital point. That is at that time, again, I talk about 60s or 70s or 80s, mechanical engineering, and everyone used to call it a father of engineering. Definitely, if it is a
Physics
father of
concept
engineering,
from 11, 12 is
he is a father of engineering, then definitely actually everyone, most of the students, definitely good students, will try to join mechanical engineering. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sir, now another question. If I get into mechanical engineering now, what would be the probable scenario after 4 years?
Again, it is a very, very important question. I tell you, a long period of journey for say last 60 years, from 60s to 2020. Actually, there is a period when mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, civil engineers, they used to get the jobs very quickly after getting completion of their degree. They used to get their jobs. And late 90s and early 21st century, actually the IT or computer science, they have taken up, they were considered as the front runner. And now again the ball is rolling. What I understand, Mr. Roman De, Professor Roman De, Mr. Vikas Jadhav and Narendra will correct me. Again the ball has started rolling from 2011 onwards. Mechanical engineers are getting equal opportunity compared to computer science and IT. So actually, I would say there is a very big opportunity for the mechanical engineers in the, all the domains what we have explained by me and also by Mr. Jadhav, by Professor Day and Arindam. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
yeah, I'd
I
like to
would,
add,
yes, sir. I would
yeah.
request Mr. Vikas Yadav, sir, to add on something.
Yeah, I would like to add on this. Thank you. Actually, after completing mechanical engineering, if you give yourself 3 or 4 years, 4 years after 4 years, you'll be depending on what sector you choose. I believe you will be at very good place. At least after passing out in mechanical engineering, maybe you'll 3 or 4 5 months you will find to get a good job. But once you have obtained a good knowledge and you have done you have learned your mechanical engineering well, so definitely you are going to get a good company, and in terms of you can start your journey as a mechanical engineering, and after completing 4 years you'll be at the your career will be pretty much settled, and which will already have some direction, actually where you want to go. So after completing 4 years, you'll get settled or a good place. That's what I believe.
Thank you, sir. Your comments will specially help those who are planning to take mechanical engineering as a career. Now to Mr. Orindam Banerjee, sir. Sir, on what basis should the students choose a college?
One of the this is also a very important question. How to choose the college, and in that case, a few factors should be taken into consideration, such as what facilities the college offers. In case of, say, for example, labs. If there is a mechanical engineering course is open in a college, that does not guarantee that the college will have a great lab. And in mechanical engineering, it's always hands-on experience that matters. So whatever we teach in theory, the the exact reciprocation has to be in the labs as well. Good working equipments and units shall have to be placed in the labs. So a good lab is necessary. And another very important thing is having the proper faculty. A lot of people teach, however, a lot of people face problems while understanding them. So teaching is a different type of a thing, and not everyone can do it. To make a student understand in a very informal way and in a very casual way is also very important. So the staff or the faculty of a certain college is also very important. We have also got to see what type of college and what group it belongs to and how strong the college the alumni are. So we also have to see what type of students come into it, because ultimately, when you go into a college, these students will be your friend circle for the next 4 years, and this is the time where your friends around you will shape you and your mental faculties for the future. So it is also very important, the type of students, the way they interact, and the type of faculty and the way they interact with the faculty. These are all some of the very important factors while choosing a good college.
Thank you, sir. Now to Romain, sir. Sir, do you like to add something to it?
Add with Arindam.
Yes, actually, yes, sir. Continue, sir. Yes, sir. Continue, please.
Yes, what parents are considering? That is a very important point. What parents are considering, and I like to add with Arindam. Parents are normally considering the college itself, whether the college is good or mediocre or okay, less than mediocre. What about the quality of the faculties? Whether faculties are good, something like that. And most importantly, for last 5 years, what is the percentage of placement? What is the percentage of placement during last 5 years? That is also these are the criteria which parents do consider before actually giving their son or daughter in the college. Maybe Orindam and Robinson may correct me.
Uh, I want to add one thing that before selecting a college, students should visit the campus. I think they should visit the campus and physically they should see the facilities, the infrastructure of the college, and talk to the faculty members there. And thereafter, they should take decision or select the college.
Thank
Yes,
you, sir.
yes, Roman sir, you are very correct, Professor Roman De. Again, I would like to add few points. Actually, I was associated with some college. I am going to name the college, maybe for 3 years, 2013, 14, and 15. And during that period, what Professor Roman De has actually mentioned, yes, uh, I, along with the director of that particular college, used to visit so many schools, higher secondary schools, around a radius of 100 kilometers, and interact with the students of class 11, class 12, and encourage them regarding which actually college they will choose, what stream they will choose, why they will choose. Even we invited them to come to our actually college, visit the college, visit the facility, visit the lab, what Islam has mentioned. And that's a very important point. Each student or along with their parents should visit the college. You have to have an idea, have a knowledge about the college, how good it is before actually considering the particular college. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Now to Romain, sir. Sir, why should one select Omdal group of institutions for mechanical engineering?
Actually, Omdal Group started their engineering college in 2010 with a vision to become a center of excellence in technical education. And with that vision, from the very beginning, we as a Department of Mechanical Engineering tried to impart quality education to our students. We have always emphasized quality teaching, learning, and moreover, complete development of our students. See, in today's outcome-based education system, it is very important to check whether your students are properly learning or not, whether they are able to meet the course outcomes or not. Because they have to work in the field, they have to deal with different kind of challenges. So here in our department, the students are properly evaluated and guided by the faculty members.
Demand.
I actually want to mention a few strengths of our department. Obviously, it is the faculty members. We have developed our department in with experienced faculty members from industry background as well as research background. I think that is a very important thing of our department. And obviously, as Arindam said already mentioned, the lab facilities of any engineering college is very important. And when it is mechanical engineering, then lab facilities is very important actually. In our department, we have 15 labs and more than hundreds of experimental setup. So all the labs are well equipped, and most importantly, the teachers who take the practical classes, they worked in a long period of time in industry. So with that experience, they give the proper practical knowledge and hands-on training to the students. In fact, we know that in present competitive market, it is very important for the students to have some additional skill, additional knowledge beyond the course curriculum, and also they should know that the current state of research and development works are going on around the world. So that's why we organize different kind of events like webinars, seminar, workshop, industry visits, and the students are encouraged to participate actively in these events, and where we invite different the researchers, eminent researchers and industry persons, so to enhance the skill of our students basically. That's why our students, after completing their BTech, they are working in reputed industries of our country. Even one-to-one mentoring, special care, even you can say that online classes, online examination system, everything is there. I would suggest the student, those who are listening, those who are watching this program, I'd like to invite them to our campus visit to visit the campus, and on the basis of that, you should select the college. I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman sir. Thank you so much. So now we move on to the question answer session. So questions from the audience. First question which we got is mechanical engineering tough compared to other engineering courses? Over to Mr. Debobroto De, sir.
Sir is mute. Sir, you are mute. You're on mute.
Okay, any sir, any esteemed speaker can add on to something?
Yes, I don't feel that mechanical engineering is tough, as we are discussing during this webinar, that the knowledge of physics, mathematics, these are required. So if a student from higher secondary level, if he or she studied these subjects properly, then mechanical engineering is a very easy, I think. And what is required from the side of the students, that is dedication and hard work. They have to study the subject, they have to apply their knowledge properly. That is the thing. I don't feel that it is difficult.
I mean, once you have basic understanding of physics and maths and these things, and you have passed out your 12th higher secondary education, the basic, I'm not on. Yeah, the basic understanding of physics and maths is required to do a mechanical. You enroll yourself into mechanical engineering. So when you started to learn something, to always clear your fundamental, your basics, so that it doesn't become overburdened. Don't assume. Try to understand and use your logic behind everything you learn. So I don't think it is tough, and the basic common sense and understanding and your knowledge of physics and maths required to pursue mechanical engineering.
Thank you, sir. Now we have another question from the audience. What kind of jobs I expect post-pandemic in mechanical engineering?
I think Debobroto sir should answer this question.
Over to Debobroto sir.
Yes, actually, I have already explained post-pandemic. Again, there is a domain, big domain, You can join actually power plant that is run by the government or that is run by the private sector. Okay, you can join some other manufacturing unit also. Though there is some restriction during pandemic, the manufacturing units are allowed to run. They are running also. So there is no problem. You can easily join after getting your degree. But initially you have to be a training engineer. Then you will be actually absorbed as a full-fledged mechanical.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have another question from a student who is saying, a student weak in physics, can he or she join mechanical engineering?
He has to improve. He has to improve himself. Definitely, physics is the main subject in engineering. He has to definitely no problem. He has to improve himself. He has to work hard, work hard, work hard. The only mantra, is work hard, work hard, work hard. Okay, nothing. Everything can be achieved. If you work hard, everything can be achieved.
And in the first year,
somebody,
they have to
if
study
somebody is weak in
engineering physics. They're in the course curriculum. In the first year, they again have to study engineering physics. So, if the student is the student is ready to give his 100% and the dedication, then he can study. No problem is with that.
Yeah, even if you are weak in physics, doesn't mean that you can't study mechanical engineering. So I mean, as Mr. Desai said, you required hard work and your dedication to learn something. So once you put your right effort, your dedication, and your hard work, you will all have a good result. So that's your right mindset and approach you require. Whether you want to pursue things or not, you want to learn things or not. Once you have that dedication and your commitment or to learn something, so you will always succeed. So I don't think if you are weak in physics, you can't learn mechanical engineering. You can always improve yourself. You can always
Sure. Hard work will always lead to success.
Then we add the student who has raised the question. I would advise him, think positive, think positive, think positive.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you, sir. Now, one more question I've got. If I choose teaching as a profession, what do I have to do after BTech? Over to Ramin Dey, sir.
Actually, I already mentioned that lecturer jobs are also available after completing BTech through Public Service Commission. The lecturer in polytechnic colleges are recruited, and the students directly can appear for that examination. And if a student want to pursue higher study, MTech, he or she can do MTech, and after that can apply in BTech colleges also. And government jobs are also available in government colleges. You may join as assistant professor, or in private colleges also you may join as assistant professor. Or again, after MTech, you may go for PhD. So there is a huge scope in teaching also. After if you choose mechanical engineering, if you complete your BTech, then Steve, there will be many opportunities in teaching. I think.
Thank you, sir. So we have another question from a student. According to him, that is, considering the present scenario where there is a high demand in IT sector, so which option is better for career growth for a mechanical engineer? Means which field is better, IT or this core mechanical engineering field? Considering the present scenario, over to Mr. Devabruto Dey, sir.
Yes, I will answer. You see, what I've explained earlier, the domain of mechanical engineering is very big, but IT sector or the computer science is limited. One particular engineer who has graduated in computer science or IT, he cannot work in mechanical operation, he cannot work in repair shop, he cannot work in manufacturing unit. But a mechanical engineer has the option to work in operation, mechanical operation, repair shop, manufacturing unit, vessel, steel plant, and also IT. Then now it is up to you. You choose which one is better.
I would like to add on this also on this, sir, that when a 12th standard pass out student chooses for a stream to go into, what happens is that at that point of time, that student is obviously sometimes he's thinking about doing IT. But if he, let us assume that he joins mechanical engineering, that does not mean that he cannot join IT anymore. He can actually. You see, there is a gap of 4 years. In that 4 years, the person's mind can change. It can change from, say, going into IT and perhaps going into some other profession. So you would be well advised to choose a profession or choose a field where the options, the variety of options is enormous to you. A lot of options are open for a mechanical engineer. So from 12th standard, after 4 years, the student might think, no, I'm not good for IIT. I do not, the brain has more developed more of the student, and the student might eventually decide to go in some other field. Mechanical engineering gives the opportunity to all the students to go for a number of different type of fields, and it is so different that you will not even be able to understand. There is so much to see in mechanical engineering. You can easily go into IT even after 4 years. You have not changed your mind, no problem, you can go into IT. If you have changed your mind, you can go into many other professions.
Yes.
So
yeah, I mean, Arindam might be knowing who has already completed mechanical engineering, and there are, I mean, 4-5 friends who are doing very well in IT sector.
yes,
So,
very good.
yeah.
And
Okay,
not only that. No, not only that. Let me add. Those who actually completed mechanical engineering or BTech, and they are going in the UPSC exam, and they are joining as IAS.
Yes.
There's actually administration of the whole country. IAS, they are joining as IAS. Also, after doing actually a degree in mechanical engineering, they are going for MBA. MBA, that is actually again business administration. They are joining the top companies, the top multinationals, and getting getting fat salary.
I would like to tell that there are a lot of mechanical engineers who have done MBA. Chetan Bhagat is also one mechanical engineer who has done MBA. So there are a lot of examples.
Thank you, sir. Now, sir, another question. What is the top skill a mechanical engineer must have? Over to Mr. Dibubroto Desa.
Definitely, I repeat, positive thinking of mind. He should be ready to work hard, and he should be ready to meet any and all challenges. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Now there is another question. Is it better to do BTech directly or after passing out from polytechnics, means after doing a diploma degree? Over to Roman Kanti De, sir.
It is, I think, it should be the students have to decide that. I think if after higher secondary, it is better to directly join a BTech course. The vast there are a number of opportunities will be there for the BTech engineers, and if a student after secondary they join polytechnic college, and after polytechnic they can again come to the BTech course through GLET. That is also fine. But if you have completed higher secondary, then it is better to appear in the joint entrance examination and join the BTech mechanical engineering program. That I think.
Mr. Professor Roman, please guide me. Is it like that after passing Madhyamik they can join diploma course? Is it like that?
Actually, the minimum criteria, I think, for polytechnic is secondary. I feel that. I think that.
Okay, okay. Second,
That is the
not
secondary is the minimum criteria.
Yes,
Minimum
yes, yes.
they have to complete a secondary. But if a student completes higher secondary, then it is better to come into BTech.
yes, yes, yes. That I want to
It will open
clarify.
lots of opportunities actually.
I sought clarification. Nowadays it's plus that is a madhyamik or higher secondary.
Thank you, sir. Looks like we answered all your questions. We are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your valuable thoughts and experiences with us. I am sure the students benefited greatly. We hope to see you again next time. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
My last message to the students.
Yes, sir.
My last message to the students who are the participants in this webinar. Please visit Omdal Institute along with your parents as early as possible before 14th August. 14th August, the WBJE result is going to be published. Before 14th August, please visit Omdal Institute, Group of Institute along with your parents, and then you decide whether you will join Omdal or some other college. Okay? Thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you, sir.
everyone is invited to visit our campus. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for enriching us. Thank you.